Bullied Kid Prepares for Ice Age. Li Kaining and her sister Wang Min had a confrontation with Yu Qing after overhearing Zhang Yi on the phone. Zhang Yi had said, "Yu Qing, you are a good person, but unfortunately, you came too late. I have found someone better now." Yu Qing immediately grabbed her phone and heard Zhang Yi saying, "You will wish us happiness, won't you?" She then saw a picture of Zhang Yi with Dr. Zhou together. Yu Qing became angry and shouted, "No, you can't do this to me. Yu Qing loves Zhang Yi. I love you the most, Zhang Yi. Dr. Zhou must be deceiving you. She doesn't truly like you. Give me a chance, just one chance. I will prove that I am the one who truly loves you." Yu Qing's world shattered when Zhang Yi said, "No need. Dr. Zhou and I share genuine love. She surpasses you in many aspects of life. How could I even consider giving her up for you? Do you think you are worthy? Let's not contact each other in the future. I'm afraid she might get the wrong idea." Yu Qing cried and couldn't believe what had happened. She said, "Zhang Yi, you were once so unwaveringly devoted to me. You persisted for a full 2 years. Yet now that I am the one taking the lead, why have you suddenly lost interest? It's all because of that wretched Dr. Zhou. Why did she have to snatch what is mine? She deserves to sleep forever." Wang Min laughed and said, "Yu Qing, it's your own fault for being so presumptuous. This is just karma coming back to bite you." Li Kaining added, "You totally deserve what's happening to you now." Meanwhile, in his apartment, Zhang Yi thought, "I have had enough fun. There is no need to bother with this woman anymore. Soon enough, she will meet her end in the apocalypse." Zhang Yi suddenly asked Dr. Zhou if he was cruel, and he held her hands. She replied that she believed Zhang Yi must have his reasons for acting this way. Dr. Zhou then grasped Zhang Yi's arms. Zhang Yi responded, "Good to know you understand." A few moments later, lunch was prepared by Dr. Zhou while Zhang Yi sat on the couch, eating his apple with his banana phone. He asked Dr. Zhou to eat first and read the messages. In the group chat, Auntie Lin said the snowstorm was almost over. Her relative told her that from now on, everyone should listen to her, or else they would have to line up to be shot. She added, "Did anyone hear what I said? Send me food right away." While eating, Dr. Zhou asked if Zhang Yi was afraid of poison. Zhang Yi replied that it was strange he remembered Chen Jinghao, who was the first to rob Auntie Lin, and it was a miracle that she was still alive until now. Dr. Zhou mentioned that when she visited Lin Xiaohu in the hospital, she couldn't help but feel sorry for them. So, she gave them some supplies. Zhang Yi looked at Dr. Zhou with confusion, and she explained, "At that time, the snowstorm had just begun and I thought it would be over soon. Now that I know the situation, I definitely won't act recklessly again." Zhang Yi poured some wine into his glass and remarked, "That's not the problem. The supplies you gave must have been used up by now, correct? So what has she been relying on to survive until now?" Dr. Zhou replied, "Lin Xiaohu passed away nearly 10 days ago due to a lack of medication." Suddenly, Zhang Yi realized what Dr. Zhou was saying, and it all made sense now. Suddenly, someone laughed out loud in the other building. He stood over his balcony, then jumped and tried to dive into a 4-floor snowbank. Dr. Zhou asked Zhang Yi when the snowstorm would end. He replied, "I don't know. The changes in nature are beyond the control of humans. As long as we can survive, that is what matters for now." Suddenly, Zhang Yi's banana phone rang, and it was Uncle Yu. Zhang Yi answered, and Uncle Yu asked Zhang Yi if he was okay. Zhang Yi spoke to Uncle Yu, saying, "You don't need to be polite with me. Just say what you need straightforwardly. As long as it's something I can help with, I will try my best to assist you, Uncle Yu." Zhang Yi thought to himself that Uncle Yu was one of the few good people around, honest, loyal, and skilled. Having him on his side now would definitely come in handy in the future. At Uncle Yu's place, a baby cried in the background as he spoke. Uncle Yu explained, "The thing is, Xiaolimei's daughter Tang Bao has a fever and there is no medicine at my home. Her entire body is flushed red now, and her mom and I are very worried. Do you have any medicine there?" Zhang Yi thought to himself that Uncle Yu had remained single all his life, and Xiaolimei, with her youthfulness and attractive figure, probably made the first move on him. He couldn't resist her advances. Zhang Yi replied to Uncle Yu, "Oh, I see. I still have a few boxes of medicine here. Come by later and pick them up." Dr. Zhou tried to listen to Zhang Yi's conversation with Uncle Yu. Uncle Yu expressed his gratitude, saying, "Zhang Yi, how can I ever repay you for this?" He added that Zhang Yi had greatly helped him out twice now, and that whenever Zhang Yi needed him, he wouldn't hesitate to lend a helping hand. Zhang Yi replied, "That sounds too formal. We have known each other for so many years. Uncle Yu is practically family to me, closer than my own uncle. Don't be polite with me, come over and get the medicine." After hanging up the phone, Zhang Yi thought to himself, "Irimei is indeed impressive. In the entire building, only Uncle Yu heeded my advice to stock up on supplies." Amidst the crowd, she was the only one who found the most effective approach. Dr. Zhou Ke, while giving Zhang Yi his wine, asked, "Do you and Uncle Yu have such a close relationship?" Zhang Yi replied, "The hustle and bustle of the world are driven by self-interest, and this also applies in the last days. Uncle Yu is a kind and powerful person. Having him owe me a favor might come in handy in the future." He took a sip of his wine. Zhang Yi continued, "Also, from the depths of my heart, I don't want the radiance of his humanity to fade away in the last days. That is something extremely precious." Suddenly, someone knocked at Zhang Yi's door. Zhang Yi checked his CCTV and saw Eddie with Uncle Yu. Zhang Yi shouted, "Is that Uncle Yu Jiguang at the door?" Uncle Yu Jiguang confirmed, and then Shi Limei also spoke up, saying, "Zhang Yi, our family's daughter Tang Bao, has a high fever that won't go down. Can you help her, please?" Zhang Yi immediately tossed the medicine out of his door, saying, "Then quickly take the medicine and give it to the child. At times like this, being sick is no small matter." Uncle Yu Jiguang thanked Zhang Yi as he held the medicine. Suddenly, Shi Limei shouted at Zhang Yi, "Zhang Yi, please, can you let the baby stay at your home for a while? There is a heater in your home, which is relatively warm. It's too cold at our home. The baby is sick now, and I am afraid she might get too cold. Please show some kindness and lend us a hand." Zhang Yi thought to himself, "Are you trying to take advantage of the situation? I am afraid if I let the child in, you, the mother, can take advantage of it and enjoy the blessings together." Zhang Yi spoke to Shi Limei. "Is it you, Shi Limei? During this critical time, I can't let anyone come inside, especially since our coal is nearly exhausted, and the indoor temperature isn't much better than outside." Uncle Yu Jiguang talked to Shi Limei, saying, "Zhang Yi has been really considerate. He even gave medicine for the child. Let's go back and put on more clothes so we don't catch a cold." Shi Limei replied while crying, "What do you, a man, know? The baby is so small, how could the baby endure it?" Shi Limei then spoke directly to Zhang Yi, saying, "Zhang Yi, I know this request is a bit inappropriate, but I really have no other choice. Please, for the sake of our baby, and for the sake of brother Yu, let the baby stay at your place for a while." Zhang Yi replied, "If it were before the apocalypse, I would have definitely agreed. But you all know everyone in this building wants to get rid of me to occupy my home. I am truly terrified, scared of what might happen. You surely understand, don't you, Uncle Yu Jiguang?" Uncle Yu Jiguang then grabbed Shi Limei and said, "Yes, Zhang Yi has been incredibly generous to us. Who else would give us medicine? Do you know how challenging it is to obtain medicine?" Shi Limei replied, but he allowed Dr. Zhou Ke to stay at his home. Zhang Yi responded, "Dr. Zhou Ke is my girlfriend. Any questions?" Dr. Zhou Ke just pretended she wasn't there. Dr. Zhou Ke thought to herself, although it may just be a casual remark for some reason, hearing him say that still made me blush. Uncle Yu Jiguang then asked Shi Limei to go back to their home, saying, "Let's not give them further inconvenience. Zhang Yi has been very generous to us. Let's not overstep our boundaries." Shi Limei said, "I understand. I don't want to either. It's all for the sake of Tang Bao." Uncle Yu Jiguang, while leaving, apologized to Zhang Yi. "I am sorry, Zhang Yi. Don't let it bother you. Thank you so much for everything this time." Zhang Yi replied, "It's all right. I understand. In times like these, everyone should be understanding of each other." Zhang Yi then said while going back to the couch, "Having Shi Limei around still brings quite a bit of trouble." Dr. Zhou Ke remarked, "She really is something else, isn't she?" Zhang Yi rested in the lap of Dr. Zhou Ke and said, "Indeed. However, my relationship with Uncle Yu Jiguang is good. I need to be cautious of her stirring up trouble between us, which could harm me in the end." In Uncle Yu Jiguang's house, Uncle Yu Jiguang scolded Shi Limei, saying, "How could you take advantage like this? How could you ask someone else to take care of your child?" Shi Limei replied, "Isn't it all for the sake of the child?" If something happens to her, what is the point of me being alive? Uncle Yu Jiguang said, I understand, but as a person, one should at least know how to repay kindness. If it weren't for Zhang Yi, I wouldn't have even considered stocking up early, let alone surviving till now. I am determined to find a way to repay his great kindness in the future. Shi Limei then rested her head on Uncle Yu Jiguang's shoulder and said, Honestly, I don't think you need to feel so obligated to Zhang Yi. At the very least, he is still watching out for you, isn't he? Uncle Yu Jiguang then said, What do you mean? Someone extends a helping hand, and you turn it into something else? Shi Limei replied, I am not just talking nonsense. I think he helped you, but it didn't cost him much either. He just gave you some medicine. Isn't that still him watching out for you? Maybe he deliberately did you a small favor, hoping that someday you might help him out in return. If he is genuinely a good person, how could he employ such vicious methods and kill dozens of neighbors? Uncle Yu Jiguang became furiously angry at Yi Limei's words. Shi Limei continued, Besides, his home is large enough for the three of us. What's the point of? Suddenly, Uncle Yu Jiguang shouted, Enough, don't utter such words again in the future. I don't need to judge Zhang Yi. If I begin to doubt my benefactors, what kind of person does that make me? Tang Bao was startled and cried at Uncle Yu Jiguang's voice. Shi Limei said, I am sorry, it was my fault. But I am just trying to ensure your well-being. It's never wrong to be extra cautious during these times. Uncle Yu Jiguang then left the room saying, Tonight I will sleep in the living room and you two can share the big blanket. I will bring in some extra mattresses. Shi Limei thought to herself, I can't give up now. I must seize another opportunity to get into Zhang Yi's home. She then talked to Tang Bao saying, Baby, I am willing to pay any price to ensure that you and I can survive together. No matter how great the sacrifice. Or outside the building, the snow covered multiple floors as people from outside shoveled the snow to get into Zhang Yi's building. Their leader exclaimed, Let's go, let's head up. A person with a bucket saw the invaders entering their building and began to run away. The leader of the invaders shouted, Don't let that person escape. One of the group then struck him with a shovel, making him unconscious. Another person asked, Second uncle, what should we do? He replied, Let's leave him here for now. We will come back for him once we have sorted everything out. On the 24th floor, the leader called for Lao Luo to come and open the door. Lao Luo replied that he would handle it. He then prepared his improvised explosive device, lit it up, placed it on the door, and ran towards safety. The explosive device exploded, shocking Zhang Yi. He immediately took out his Desert Eagle and looked at the CCTV, saying, The living room and the second bedroom are both untouched. There are no intruders inside. He then noticed unfamiliar faces and realized, could it be the intruders are from another building? Their weapons include steel bars, wooden boards, axes, and some plywood from the construction site. The group of workers renting from the Enterprise in Building 26 next door. It must be them. They are specifically targeting me. I fear that information about my home has long been leaked to the outside. The leader of the group called for Lao Luo and asked, What kind of work did you do? You have messed up this device so badly that it couldn't even blow open a door. Lao Luo replied, This doesn't make sense. The explosive I prepared was flawless. Could it have gotten damp? The other members of the group suggested, If we can't blow it up, we will have to break it open ourselves. Zhang Yi then opened the little door in his steel door and challenged them. Wanna kill me? Let's first see if you guys have enough lives to spare. He retrieved from his secret storage a white phosphorus dissolved in sulfur dioxide, forming a simplified version of a white phosphorus bomb. This substance burns at temperatures exceeding 1,000 degrees Celsius. Zhang Yi threw it with a Molotov cocktail, instantly causing severe burns to the people it hit. Lao Luo, being barbecued, begged their leader to save him, but he was instantly shot in the head by Zhang Yi, putting him to rest forever. Zhang Yi continued shooting at them from the small opening in his steel door. Outside, the leaders searched for the person shooting at them, while the others shouted for help as they were barbecued. One by one, they started falling to the ground like flies. Zhang Yi remarked, Good thing I didn't buy a machine gun, otherwise I would probably run out of bullets after a few hundred rounds. The Ice Age has already eliminated most of the weak, and the enemies in the future will only be tougher to deal with. I must find a way to acquire more firepower. These prepared individuals, we will have to eliminate them all to feel safe. Inside the living room, Dr. Zhou Keir was scared and trembling from the chaos. Zhang Yi reassured her that everything was fine now. Dr. Zhou Keir cried like a kid and looked at Zhang Yi. Suddenly, she stood up quickly, embarrassed, and said she wasn't scared. She just thought there was an earthquake, so she found it safer to hide in the corner. Zhang Yi teased her, saying there were a total of 24 floors in the building, and if there was indeed an earthquake, she would be flattened no matter where she hid. Dr. Zhou Qier asked what had happened just now. She straightened her clothes and remarked, in other words, those workers are actually more dangerous than Chen Zhenghao. Zhang Yi explained, Chen Zhenghao is just using the gun to bully ordinary people, nothing more. In these tough times, the workers, known for their physical strength and tight-knit community, are definitely more united than outsiders. Thankfully, we got rid of the one who could detonate the bomb. Otherwise, we wouldn't feel safe sleeping at night. Dr. Zhou Qier inquired about their next move, asking if they should retaliate against them. Zhang Yi replied, retaliation is necessary. However, I won't be the one taking direct action. If we want to live peacefully in the future, we will still need some people to serve as cannon fodder. In the owner's group chat, a member asked about the loud noise just now, wondering if it was an earthquake or perhaps an artillery strike. Zhang Yi replied, earlier, a gang of workers from buildings stormed into our building, trying to commit murder and loot. Luckily, I caught them in time and chased them away. Zhang Meng, living on the 10th floor, has been murdered. The noise likely originated from the explosives they brought. It seems they tunneled in through the snow layer on the ground floor. Another member asked, what are we going to do? How can we possibly defeat those laborers? Half of the people in the building are dead, and the majority left are the elderly, weak, women, and children. Someone reassured the group. Fortunately, we have Zhang Yi with us. Our safety is guaranteed. You are our hero. Dr. Zhou Qier hugged Zhang Yi tightly as they read the messages in his bed. Zhang Yi sent a voice message saying, I have used up a lot of resources fighting them, and now my own security is uncertain. Best of luck to everyone. Suddenly, Zhang Yi's phone rang, and it was Uncle Yu Jiguang. Uncle Yu Jiguang asked, Zhang Yi, those people from building haven't harmed you, have they? Do you need my help? I have had drinks with that group before. Lately, under Huang Tian's orders, they caused the demise of many. Now they have set their sights on you. Zhang Yi replied, for safety's sake, let's be cautious. I currently have no plans for revenge. Uncle Yu Jiguang suggested, how about you give me some details of what is going on with those people so we can think of countermeasures together? Let's all work together to deal with them. Uncle Yu Jiguang pondered, so, you mean that we should form a gang like Wang Tian's and stand together against outsiders? Zhang Yi nodded, saying, exactly. That's the way to have a chance to win. Uncle Yu Jiguang responded, then I will bring up this suggestion in the group. Let's see how many people are willing. Zhang Yi cautioned, there's no need for that. It might make them think you have ulterior motives, or even offend them. What should we do then? Zhang Yi explained, why rush? We have enough resources at home. Just wait. The Huang Tianhe gang might come for the first round, and there will surely be a second time in the future. After killing so many of them, they will definitely seek revenge. When the time comes, the neighbors in the building will naturally come to us for help. Uncle Yu Jiguang praised, Zhang Yi, you are really brilliant. Let's just do it like this. Zhang Yi then turned to Dr. Zhou Qier, saying, now those neighbors are flattering me on the surface, but deep down, each one of them fears and hates me. There are certain things I definitely can't handle personally. You and Uncle Yu Jiguang are now responsible for gathering intelligence covertly over the next few days. The sooner we understand the power dynamics throughout the neighborhood, the better our advantage. Dr. Zhou Qier nodded, determined. I will do my best. 2 days later, Dr. Zhou Qier appeared in her revealing maid costume, flaunting her long legs and cleavage. She presented the gathered information, saying, I have compiled the information I gathered from Uncle Yu Jiguang, along with the intelligence I have gathered myself. She continued, at present, the most challenging issue is the Huang Tianhe group from building next door. It is built around the core of the construction team under the Huang Tianhe group. Their combat prowess is formidable, relying mainly on shovels and steel bars as their primary weapons. Without access to firearms, the only other organization that poses a greater threat is a group of 21 people. The two leaders are Wang Chang and Xiao Lu. Before the disaster struck, they were idling at home, and their subordinates are generally young, strong individuals in their 20s known as the Mad Wolf Gang. Zhang Yi listened intently, then responded, there aren't many residents left in the other apartment building, most likely due to either despair-driven suicides or internal conflicts caused by shortages of supplies. leading to a significant decrease in numbers. However, this isn't too alarming. Keep gathering intelligence, especially regarding their possession of firearms. This is crucial for minimizing the risk. Dr. Jokier was shocked at Zhang Yi's handsomeness and said, "Okay." She then went on to continue her covert investigations, ensuring they were well prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead. In another scene, a hooded figure said to second uncle that everything had been settled. Second uncle nodded, acknowledging the report. "You have done well. Since we can't deal with Zhang Yi for now, let's start by taking out the weaklings in this building." With a can of red paint, they wrote a message on the wall. "If Zhang Yi doesn't show up, I will deal with his neighbors who don't pay attention to their surroundings." Second uncle continued, "Once this group of people can't bear the fear anymore, they will naturally come to seek your help. When that happens..." Meanwhile, Zhang Yi received multiple messages from the group. People were pointing fingers at him, placing the blame squarely on his shoulders. "Zhang Yi, you stirred up this mess, so it's your responsibility to resolve it. The Huang Tianhe gang members were drawn in by you and eliminated by you. How does that concern us?" Another message read, "Each person must face the consequences of their actions. We can't be expected to shoulder this burden for you." Yet another voice chimed in, "They have made it clear that if you don't show yourself, they won't cease their killing spree. If you have an ounce of decency left, it's time to step forward on your own." Zhang Yi and Dr. Jokier, after finishing their intimate moment in just 1 minute, emerged from their room. Zhang Yi immediately checked his banana phone and remarked, "Their speed at changing sides is as fast as when these bastards surrendered in the beginning." He replied to the messages, his anger palpable. "It's not like I invited them here. They came after me, and now I'm the one to blame just because I defended myself. If you couldn't handle them on your own, why should I be involved? If those people are truly as dangerous as you say, why should I risk going out there?" A lady replied, "You may be safe now, but what about the rest of us? Aren't you putting us all in jeopardy?" Another voice added, "Why should we have to deal with the people you have attracted? Have you lost your conscience?" Zhang Yi, tired of typing his angry responses, sent a voice message in frustration. "Do I care what happens to you? Does your survival or demise matter to me at all?" Auntie Lin and Shui Hao were shocked upon hearing Zhang Yi's words. Shui Hao then said, "What should I do? I thought Chen Zhenghao was dead and I could go on living, but those people from the Huang Tianhe gang are even more ruthless. Am I just supposed to wait to die? This snow disaster won't vanish anytime soon. Everyone is going to sleep forever." In his room, Zhang Yi called Uncle Yu Jiguang and said firmly, "It's your time to shine now." He knew that they needed Uncle Yu's experience and influence to navigate this dangerous situation. It was time to rally their forces and face the threat head-on. Uncle Yu Jiguang, determined to take action, assured the group, "I will handle it." In the group chat, Uncle Yu Jiguang rallied everyone. "Don't panic, everyone. The Wang Tianhe gang only has around 20 members. If we stick together, we can take them down together," someone relievedly remarked. "Thankfully, Uncle Yu Jiguang is here." Another person expressed concern. "You've been quiet lately. I thought maybe you were sick." Yet another said, "Uncle Yu Jiguang, tell us your plan. We are all behind you." To this, Uncle Yu Jiguang replied, "Our resources are running low. We haven't eaten for days, and we are too weak to fight. Zhang Yi's household is stocked with weapons, and he is well-fed and capable of combat. Making him our leader is the best choice. I will try to talk to Zhang Yi and see if I can persuade him to join us." The group responded, "We are counting on you, Uncle Yu Jiguang." Meanwhile, Zhang Yi read the messages and sipped his hot water, contemplating the situation. Uncle Yu Jiguang then messaged Zhang Yi directly, asking, "What should we do now?" Zhang Yi sent Uncle Yu Jiguang a voice message. "When the time comes, I will need your backing to ensure these folks follow my lead obediently. By balancing kindness and authority, we can secure the safety of this building in the future." He then addressed the group in a voice chat, saying, "For Uncle Yu Jiguang's sake, I have come to discuss matters with all of you. It's in everyone's best interest to be clear about any terms or conditions." A person in the group implored, "Zhang Yi, please reconsider. How about this? We will follow your orders without any objection in the future." "Deal," Zhang Yi responded. "Oh, is that so? Whatever I ask you to do, you will do it? Is that agreed upon by everyone?" Another person spoke up, "As long as you are not sending us to our deaths, we are willing to consider any other terms." Zhang Yi then asked, "If I ask you to grab your weapon and fight against the Tianhe gang, will you go?" Meanwhile, Dr. Zhou sliced the cake for them. He continued, "So, you are basically asking me to risk my life. What makes you think I should be concerned about your lives?" Dr. Zhou took the first bite of the cake. Zhang Yi stated firmly, "When Wang Tianfang and his crew come to attack, just stick your necks out and let them chop them off." Uncle Yu Jiguang intervened. "Hold on a moment, everyone. Here, we will definitely listen to you. Since we are all facing death anyway, let's give it our all for a chance to survive. I will do as you say. Zhang Yi, what are you all hesitating for? Let's fight together for a chance to live." Zhang Yi nodded. "Okay, from this moment forward, everyone must obey my orders. If anyone shows reluctance or tries to exploit the situation for personal gain, don't blame me for taking strict action as a warning to others." With that, Zhang Yi ended the call. In the group chat, they discussed their plans to retaliate and stay strong together. Zhang Yi messaged the group, "The situation is dire now. Anyone who hesitates and stays behind is betraying all the homeowners and deserves to be punished. But don't worry, since I am the one giving orders, I won't let any of you go hungry. As long as you follow my orders, I will go out and scavenge for resources." The group prepared themselves for the challenges ahead, unified under Zhang Yi's leadership. Zhang Yi thought to himself that fortifying the entire building would require ensuring that the group of fighters had some basic combat skills. They absolutely needed to go out and scavenge for resources, as well as gather more weapons to boost their firepower. Fortunately, there were still snowmobiles and a car in his alternate space, making transportation for their missions quite easy. In this era of heavy snow and city lockdowns, others found it as difficult as climbing to the sky just to leave their homes. However, Zhang Yi could move around the entire city freely. A person in the group chat asked Zhang Yi if he could go out to find resources. Another lady expressed concern, "With such heavy snow, there's no way to drive. Do you want to walk through the snow? You might freeze to death." Zhang Yi reassured them, "If the conditions outside are harsh, for everyone's sake, I have to give it a try." He explained further, "I have worked in warehousing for many years. I know where all the warehouses are in Tianhai City, as well as the large department stores and supermarkets. Since I have taken on the role of floor leader, I have to take responsibility for everyone. Besides, the resources at my place are running low too. Going out to find resources is our only way to survive." One person expressed being touched by Zhang Yi's dedication. Another remarked, "We treated Zhang Yi so poorly before, and yet he still helped us." Someone else said, "From now on, Brother Zhang Yi will be our guiding light." The group was starting to rally around Zhang Yi, recognizing his leadership and determination to ensure their survival. Dr. Zhou remarked to Zhang Yi, "Now they are eager to enshrine you on the shrine." Zhang Yi responded, "They are not my followers. They are just a bunch of cannon fodder." He walked away saying, "Just a tiny favor, and they all worship me as their deity." Concerned, Dr. Zhou asked, "Are you really going out?" Zhang Yi then fetched his bulletproof vest and assured her, "Rest assured, the supplies at home are enough to feed you. I am simply seeking the right chance to venture out and observe the outside world." Dr. Zhou suggested they go together, but Zhang Yi stopped her, playfully pinching her cheek, and said, "Given our current relationship, do you honestly think I would still question you? I trust you wholeheartedly. Just wait for my return." With that, Zhang Yi left, leaving Dr. Zhou feeling a bit sad. On the 4th floor, Zhang Yi surveyed the bloody mess left by the Huang Tianhe gang. He opened a window to exit, finding it difficult to walk on the snow. Glancing around to see if anyone was watching, he retrieved his snowmobile from his secret space and set off. A person watched him from a window as he rode away. Zhang Yi remarked, "It looks like there will be others targeting me because of this snowmobile in the future. After so long without going out, the first thing I do is snowmobiling, and it feels amazing." Inside the Tianhai Municipal Public Security Bureau, Zhang Yi broke in and looked around. He saw the frozen police officers and thought to himself that they were probably on night duty when the blizzard hit. They didn't even have clothes to keep them warm. Regardless of the outcome, Zhang Yi felt that those who once sacrificed themselves to protect the city deserved respect. Suddenly, he noticed a key and realized that what kept them standing until their last breath must have something to do with the gun arsenal. And Zhang Yi took the keys to the arsenal of the police station and ventured into the arsenal room, finding an array of different guns and equipment. "There are bullets, pistols, rifles, and even sniper rifles," he noted. Reflecting on his improved accuracy and stable mentality since the rebirth, he thought, last time dealing with Huang Tianhe, almost every shot was flawless. I must be a shooting genius. With determination, he began collecting everything in the arsenal to transfer to his secret storage, preparing to assemble a formidable team. Now it's time to get some food to those useless people, he muttered as he stepped outside, hopping onto his snowmobile. The supermarket near the residential area is surely already stripped bare. The possibility of finding resources is much higher in the suburban shopping malls far from the city center. Stopping and observing the snowy ground, Zhang Yi spotted the supermarket ceiling and smashed through the glass, descending into the supermarket. Passing by luxury stores, he thought to himself that in the past he saved up for months to buy luxury items that now seemed like worthless junk. Navigating through the supermarket, Zhang Yi focused on collecting items along the way, knowing that the food should be on the first floor. He glanced at some ruined fruits, thinking, after the onslaught of the blizzard, most of the food is ruined beyond recognition. I wouldn't eat these things even if they were given to me for free, but when it comes to dealing with those folks, it's more than enough. Returning to their building with his spoils, people from the other building watched as Zhang Yi entered. One remarked, he's got this thing that can run even in the snow. If we get our hands on that snowmobile, we can go out and scavenge for food. No need to keep suffering. Another person chimed in, second uncle, I know about this. In our area, this thing is called a sledge. It's an electric sledge. Regardless of what it is, we need to figure out a way to get it from Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi observed everyone looking at him and thought to himself, the tool for crossing the snow is the only hope at the moment. After being exposed, everyone will focus on me. Fortunately, I've got firepower supplies and new equipment this time around. Uncle Yu Jiguang shouted at Zhang Yi, Zhang Yi, you actually found so many things. Zhang Yi dropped his spoils to the floor and replied, it's really difficult to find supplies outside. I have checked every nearby supermarket and mall I can recall, but this is all there is. Zhang Yi then addressed the crowd, holding his dessert eagle in his hands. I have put in a tremendous amount of effort to get these supplies for all of you. Dr. Zhou Qi'er opened the bag, revealing the food, and the people exclaimed at the sight of meat and vegetables. Uncle Yu Jiguang shouted, long live Zhang Yi! The crowd began chanting Zhang Yi's name, hailing him like a champion who had triumphed in a 1-minute round with Dr. Zhou Qi'er in bed. The people now respected Zhang Yi as a hero. He told them, these food supplies will be distributed fairly, but I will not tolerate laziness. Eating these food supplies means taking up arms to fight against the enemy. Suddenly, people from the other building showed up, demanding the food. Zhang Yi pointed at them and declared to his people, whoever kills one of them will be rewarded with food for 5 people. The crowd was shocked at Zhang Yi's words, their eyes turning red with the promise of food. Empowered by the prospect of obtaining more provisions, they rushed towards the enemy. One by one, they made them all sleep forever in the snow. Zhang Yi and Dr. Zhou Qi'er watched as their people battled it out in the snowy landscape. Uncle Yu Jiguang shouted his battle cry, rallying them with, let's go together. We outnumber them and have the advantage. Finally, the last enemy was defeated and made to sleep forever in the snow. The remaining foes fled the scene, and the victors rejoiced over their triumph against the bullies who tried to take the newly arrived food. Looking at the wounded people, Dr. Zhou Qi'er remarked, if we handle it in time, there might still be a chance. But safeguarding lives demands extensive specialized equipment and medication. Zhang Yi, not willing to waste valuable resources on them, remained resolute. A few moments later, in the ground floor lobby, Zhang Yi and Dr. Zhou Qi'er stood in front of their people. Zhang Yi praised them. Good job and well done, did you see that? As long as we stand together, what do these people have to be afraid of? He then turned to the 2 men who had bravely stormed the enemies and rewarded them with supplies for 5 people each. You both did well. As long as you keep up this momentum, I won't treat you badly, Zhang Yi promised. One of the men said, Big brother Zhang Yi, from now on we will definitely follow you and work hard. The other chimed in, we will all follow your lead. You are like a big brother to me. The others looked at the 2 brave men and realized their missed opportunity. We were foolish not to push harder earlier. If we had put in more effort, those supplies would have been ours, they lamented. Zhang Yi observed their reactions with satisfaction. Excellent, that's the effect I want in this group, he thought to himself. He then commanded, now, let's proceed with the food distribution. One by one, step forward. Thank you for tuning into my videos. I hope you've been enjoying them. I'd like to ask for a small favor. I've noticed that only 7.7% of you are subscribed to my channel. To all my viewers, I greatly appreciate your support in helping my channel grow. Please consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and sharing your feedback with me. Your input will help me enhance the quality of my videos. Thank you all so much, and lots of love to each and every one of you.